Welcome everybody. We've got a phenomenal podcast now for anyone who's been struggling with online dating. If you've been involved in it, you know that it's possibly not perfect for you. So Ashley has come up with something that is phenomenal. This is a podcast with Ashley who's come up with My Adventure Date, a new way to enter the dating scene. It's blown my mind. So let's get straight to it now and bring in the podcast with Ashley.
Hello and welcome everybody for another podcast with your host, Christian Hoyle. That is me, delivering it from a different place this week. This is from my home. I can see a shooting light coming across here, so I apologize about the lighting. Really interesting one coming up now. I think that as we get older, dating gets different. So some people are doing some things different about it. So I came across someone doing something completely different with the dating scene, and they've invented their own little product. So today we're going to find out about it. So I'm going to bring in Ashley Waite now. Hey, Ash.
Hello.
How are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good. You've got much better light than me. My light is just like I'm in the dark.
Yeah, you are a little bit, but I can see you. We can see your face, so all good.
I'm going to change it so we see your face more. If I press this one, it'll be less on me. So go on, Ash. Tell everyone a little bit about you.
Oh God. What about my adventure date?
No, just you first. We'll start with you. Tell us something about you, and then we'll get to where you get to the adventure date. So give us a bit before adventure date, and we'll move towards that, so people get to know who you are.
Okay. So oh God, where to start? So I'm 36. I turned 36 a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that's a bit of a thing in itself, isn't it? Live in Manchester now, but originally from the Lake District, which I absolutely love. And then last year found like a new sort of passion for hiking, walking, love getting outside. And then
have you not done that before? Have you been one of them who lives in the lakes and who's not been up a mountain the whole time you were here?
Do you know, it's really weird because when we were younger, we used to go up a little bit, but it was never really a thing. It was just kind of, oh, we'll just go on a Sunday. And then I just kind of, it was nice, but I was never like in love with it, you know, whereas now, oh God, I'm just traveling here, there and everywhere. I absolutely love it. Like when it comes to the weekend, I'm just like, I've got to get out. So
why? Go on, tell. Like I've got a why. I'm an absolute mountain lover, and I have been for years and years. Go on, what is it for you that what do mountains do for you, or hiking, or trekking, or whatever you're doing?
It's just for me. I feel like it's a kind of almost like a release. It's like escapism, I think. Like because it's so mindful, isn't it? You're focusing on going for your walk. You plan your route. You get up there. You're out in the fresh air. Sometimes there's nobody else there. And it's just, you're getting the energy from it because you're walking. It's just, I love it.
I have it as this thing. So you stand at the bottom if you're doing a mountain and you look and you stand at the bottom, you look up and the mountain looks huge and you think there's no way I can do that. And then when you put your head down and break it down into steps, you do the first step and you look up and you look down and you're so much up now. Now you're like, wow, look how high we are. And then eventually you go up. And I have this other thing for mindfulness. I use mountains to like challenge, like say if I've got something in my mind that I need to deal with, I think I'll go to a mountain, it'll settle it. And when I'm thinking about it, it never gets settled. And then I start walking down, bang, the answer was made when I forgot about it. And it's sort of like a spiritual adventure.
Yeah. Do you know, I was listening to, was it a podcast or something about that, actually? It was about kind of how your sort of subconscious just, you know, how you just said then that things just kind of go into your mind. There's like some kind of theory behind that. It's like I can't even remember what it was. It was like a YouTube thing that I was watching anyway, because I just love like watching people talk. And because everyone's just so interesting, aren't they? You're like, oh God, like what a wealth of knowledge. But yeah, this lady was saying that basically sometimes you focus too much on the thing that you think it is. So say if you go trying to think of somebody's name, you're kind of like thinking, but then you'll latch on to like say Mark or something. but then you'll it's not Mark, but you keep carrying on thinking that it's Mark. So that little the actual real thing doesn't come in your head because you keep going back to Mark. So when you've completely forgotten about it, it comes because it's there.
When you're trying too hard, and I think that's like problems in your life, when you're trying too hard to fix them by just fixating on the problem, you're not going to really deal with the problem, because then your whole energy is just problem, rather than really that problem's a miniature thing when you put it in a big circle of where you actually are. And it's about all of it, not the minute little problem.
Yeah.
So did you have a problem with dating? Tell me about dating, because it's interesting. Tell me about dating because you've just said you like watching things now and you've changed, because as we get older, we change a lot.
Oh my God. I feel seriously, sometimes I look at myself in the mirror. I don't know if you do this as well, but I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, who even is this? Like 18-year-old me would have been like, there is no way I would have, like, you know, I'm going out sort of buying like walking bags and walking boots and like stuff like, you know, you don't think you're going to do that when you're younger, do you? But dating at this age, I think dating in general at the moment is just really hard work. Like I love dating. I love meeting new people. I think that it's I get on with people quite well. Feel quite relaxed meeting new people.
I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It's fun chatting to people. But yeah, this online dating malarkey, I just can't really get on with it very well. And it felt like,
what's the pitfall? What's because I experienced, I've never done the online dating, but I talked to a lot of people who were with it and some of the journeys. What are some of the things that have gone on then that have put you off that kind of dating?
Well, personally, I feel like it's sort of the wrong way around it's like you meet, it's really difficult because you've basically just got a picture of somebody and then a few kind of like little snippets of what people say. You don't have that sort of, you're not feeling that chemistry. Like if you're in a room with somebody, you can kind of, you might not fancy them on a picture, but God, get them in the room. You're like, wow, like that charisma's really like, you know, shining through. And you wouldn't have seen that before. So I think like that's what I find most difficult, because people, you can be, you've mentally made up a person already before you go and meet them. So do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, you've already kind of sort of thought, oh, this is how they're going to be, or like, you know, and then you go and meet them and they're always going to be different to what you think, aren't they? Because they never going to be exactly the same. So I think, I think that's the main struggle, really.
Have you had a few? I don't know if you like, because this is the thing. It's just a date, like going for a walk with someone. Like you know, it's something you could do every day. It's not. You're not doing anything wrong having a date. It's great. You should be fun.
Yeah.
Have you had a few?
What, like online dating?
Yeah. Have you met quite a few people off it? And
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've met a few last year. I'm not really on it so much now.
Right.
Just because I'm meeting loads of people doing my adventure date now anyway. So I kind of, and I've got myself, I'm a true believer in kind of finding somebody naturally. I'd like to just kind of, you know, a bit of a romantic where I think I'm going to trip up one day and then somebody like knight in shining armor is just going to be there. Like that type of scenario. But I think that's how I would maybe meet somebody, just by kind of getting myself out there and meeting new people. And it opens new doors, doesn't it? Whoever you meet, you know, this is a new door that's opened for me, like something that I've never done before. And I was meant to say thank you so much for having me on today. I was so nervous.
I'm dying to know about it, because what I deliberately do is don't look into things, so I find out about them fresh. So tell us about adventure dating, which is something that you're starting. Tell us a little bit about it and what people can do to find it. Why did you, like, you've said why you've done it, and what's the difference and how does it go about?
So it's kind of like group activity dating. So it's not like we all just, so I basically run an event. So the first one's got to be, well, the first one that's on the website, because the website's just gone live now. So
awesome. What's the website?
It's myadventuredate.co.uk.
Quality.
So so you can book onto an event, and then the first one basically is we're going for a walk to Rydal. You'll know this area.
Oh, I love that walk. Are you doing one of the caves? It's one of my favorite.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful, isn't it? So it's like start off at Grasmere, go to the gingerbread shop, because obviously everyone loves that gingerbread.
Yeah,
and then have a little walk around the lake, go to the caves, go to Rydal Grot, have a little lunch at the Badger Bar. And then we just kind of all go home and hopefully couples meet.
So everyone's a single. So when you come,
everyone's single. Yeah. But it's meant to be kind of, I really want to create a kind of relaxed environment. Yeah. So it's just, we're all single. We're all just having a lovely day out. If you meet somebody there, great. Like if you don't, you might have made a friend.
Totally.
You might, people have been networking, because I've taken people out, not necessarily all as a single group, but different, just to get the experience of sort of leadership and that type of thing. So I've taken people out, and people have met, and kind of then say somebody's had a little business, then they've ordered from their business, and like there's all sorts of things that you can pick up from it. It doesn't necessarily, it would be amazing if a couple had met and then got married, and
that'll be your absolute testimonial, won't it? Yeah. So that's what will happen. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea, because it does, like I always say, like when I say to someone, I say, you don't have to say, do you want to come out for a drink? You say, why, we should grab a coffee or go for a walk.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's making it natural and normal. And if you like to go for a walk with someone and you get on, then you're going to say, should we do this again? And you'll get that, that kind of buzz that you'll get. Yeah. How many you got then on your first one? How many are you planning to get out with?
Oh, well, they're nearly booked up the first one now.
Wow.
I think all the female ones have gone. So that's amazing.
Wow.
I think 5 of each, I think. 5 guys and 5 girls. But I don't want to.
What's the age bracket? Is there an age bracket, or is it a loose age, or?
Yeah, there's an age bracket on each one, but it's not a strict age thing, because, again, I think I've kept it to kind of 25 to 35 on one, but it'll change on each one. But I've just kind of put on it perfect for ages. Just kind of, if you're 46, fine, just come along, like, no biggie, like you're 1 year older.
Yeah.
So, it's just want to sort of keep it as kind of, nice and easy as possible, really. And welcoming, like it's meant to be a welcoming thing. Anyone's welcome, and, it's like a friendly thing. So again, it's not good. I'm trying not to. I think the more I do it, the more I'll start to get a little bit of feedback as to what people want and what people are expecting. So, I'm going to do that for the first few, and then kind of. Then
What's the date? What's your date of the first one? So you want some men? Is it? And do they have to be from a specific area? How's that one working as well? How do you cover where people are from? Do you just choose the Northwest, or is it?
Yeah, well, I've just put, so it's because I'm based in Manchester. A lot of people that are on it or that have been following it are in Manchester as well.
Right.
Or around, or they just love adventures, because people that are following it are kind of like adventurous themselves. And so
I think you hit on summer. That's a brilliant idea, because
thank you. Yeah.
You want to meet like-minded people. And when you say people who like going walking and stuff, you want to meet someone who you want to be who does the same things as you.
Yeah.
And maybe not necessarily everyone might not like the same going up mountains. It might just be walking in general or whatever it is, but they like the outside, which is one of the most beautiful places to meet someone and connect with. And Grasmere is romantic as hell.
Oh, beautiful. And also, I think that you're the best version of yourself when you're out doing something that you like doing. Like, say, if you're on the hills and it's something that you really enjoy doing, that's gonna come out of you, and that's attractive. as well, isn't it? Because if you're passionate about something, I think like, you know, so then you're not sat across the table like, oh God, oh, like, you know, oh, like you're kind of out and about, you're just doing your thing, you're mingling with other people.
You will be though. You will almost be going out for a meal because you're going for food.
Yeah.
You get that. So it's like it's all of this without the pressure that it gets because everyone's there together. And I think you'll get a true vision of spend a full day with someone and you'll see what they're really like because you'll see how they encounter problems, see what they're like with other people, see what they're just like in general. Are they nice? Are they caring? Are they thoughtful? You know, and it's like you see that on a mountain.
Yeah.
I think it's superb. I can see this going like more, you know, all over because all over the country. There's how I know it is. I don't want to say who they are, but someone I know is very close to me. They're on the singles game, and I rang like last week. They showed me a picture. They went, "Show me his picture. What do you think of this guy?" And I went, "That's all right." He went, "He's a writer," and I was like, "Right, cool." I ended up ringing them the next week, and they said. I went, all right, how's it going? I can't really talk. I'm on a date. I was like, all right, I'll ring you back later. And a way that she said she was on a date, I was thinking, So anyway, she rings me afterwards and she said, I went, how did it go? Was it great? She went, it was horrible. It was really boring. I've never met a more boring guy. I've never met a more boring guy in the world. He was just like zero charisma. But she had to go quite away for that. So it was a big event, drive to such and such, meet them, do that. And it's all... I don't know. It's a negative experience then.
Yeah. See, as well, you're just meeting that one person, aren't you? Like you're going all that way, you're meeting that, and you could walk in there and instantly be like, oh no, oh no, this isn't right. And then you've kind of, but if you go on like a group date, you're having a day out as well.
It's like, it's not, and this is a bad comparison, right?
Yeah.
But it's not, but it's like we've got Love Island for the 20-year-olds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Love Island won't work for the older lot because I think what the different lot is, and I say older lot as a brief thing, but when you get older, when you're young, you just go out with people for what they look like.
Yeah.
That's how you meet what they look like, nothing else. And then you find out what they're like down the journey. You think, I really fancy them, but actually they're a psycho, actually they're really selfish or whatever it is. Whereas now it's slightly different. It's not just about looks, is it? It's about, we're not, well, I'm in the 40s now and I've got greys coming, my hairline's lifted a bit, got lines it. I'm not what I look like in my 20s and 30s. So you need to fall in love with my mind a little bit more.
Yeah. And apparently I read the other day, sorry, excuse me. I read the other day that romance love, that honeymoon period lasts for 2 years, but then actual true love will last for a lifetime. So you could like really fancy somebody, but then that's only going to give you kind of 2 years of love life. And then after that, you're kind of like,
Well, I think when you're with someone, you should date. I go on dates now. We had an amazing date in Northumbria recently. Yeah, I had an interesting one. I didn't do the dating scene because I am now 5 years. Is it? Oh no, we're August. 5 years since I split up with Sarah, and I met Julie 6 weeks after it because I wasn't looking. What had happened was, I ended up. She was single at the same time, and I ended up just chatting. We had to just. I actually did. This is how she reckons this didn't what we were, but I'll tell you it did. When I left my marital home, I moved into this bungalow, and one day I'm just about to go into the bedroom, and this mouse flew across me and went in the bedroom. I was like, what the hell's that? And I closed the door, and I didn't sleep in the bedroom that night. I slept on the couch because I was just petrified. I don't know why. And then the next day, I go into the bedroom and I'm thinking, where is it? And I'm like hiding around. Where is it? And there's this like mouse. It's on the floor like that. And I've obviously scared it to death. And it's just like that, looking upwards. And I sent Julie this mouse. And whatever that engaged our conversation. And then we went on this, we met 2 weeks later because she didn't live here. And we went on this date. And it was like the beach. Have you ever been to the beach house in Blackpool, which is one of the nicest places? It's like we went there and it was just like the most electrifying date I've ever had in my life. And it led to another one, but we'd had dated years before and had a little thing and maybe brought us together. But that's what worked for me. But I'm so glad because the online dating sounds horrendous.
Yeah. Hard. it's hard work. And that's really nice as well, that story, isn't it, with you and Julie, because it was obviously, if it's happened before and you've met before, and obviously, it just wasn't the right time. And now you've kind of had a little bit of life experience, and then you've come together at a later date, which is lovely. And that's a nice, because then
we attracted the same. I was putting out the same vibration as her. Where she was in her life then, I was in the same place. I was liking, and this is what I think is right for you about matching vibrations. That she actually doesn't. I took up a mountain recently, and she was petrified. She's not into mountains, but she likes walking, but not the mountain. She was petrified off nothing.
Was she?
I mean, really petrified to the point I was like,
oh no. Don't do that again, then.
Yeah, no, we haven't. But it's that vibration, and I think that if you're into going out and stuff, you're being active. It's a huge part of you, and if someone doesn't match that and they don't even like doing that, why would you want to?
Yeah,
it's gone. Do you know what I mean? It's totally not the same vision of what you want to be, and
and it's really hard to find that and know that as well, because a lot of people, when you're dating strangers as well, I think that's really, really difficult, because obviously
you just said that, dating strangers. You're totally right. I've never thought of that. Dating strangers, that's what it is.
It's a complete stranger. You know nothing about that person, so sometimes you can get into sort of a few dates down the line. Because I've kind of just dated people for a couple of months, let's say, and been out on a few dates with people. Started off kind of, oh yeah, I like hill walking. Oh yeah, like, but then you find out, oh, actually, that's all. Just wanted to win you over, and then sort of later you're like, oh, now I've kind of, I could have had that time to have kind of searched for something else or whatever, and it's that
wasted. I don't think going for a walk's ever wasted, because it's the best way to meet someone. Just to not what you're doing. I think what you're doing is a phenomenal idea, because as well, you might have gone, let's imagine I know Lucy's going on this, and I always really like Lucy, and I get there and actually think, I don't really like Lucy, but Sally, who's there as well, she's got, and I didn't think at the beginning of the day, and it's like people win you over when you know more about them. When you look at the surface, like some people are unconfident, you go on a date and they're so scared of being there, you don't see the true self. But you put someone on a walk and you see how they look at a cave, and you're like, how you go, because when you get to the cave, you got to go over them stones. All this stuff is telling me about them.
You're learning right the way through it, aren't you? And it gives people the opportunity as well, doesn't it? Because somebody's sort of quite shy or whatever, they're in a group situation, so you can kind of, it brings it out of them as well. Whereas on an actual date, the personality might not come across because they're so shy or nervous or what have you. So
I mean, I love first date. I actually love dating, and I still date. We should date once a week, every week, and that's normally what we do. But with kids and stuff, sometimes it doesn't quite work. But pretty much every week, Summer, you should be going out, enjoying the company, and leaving your life, leaving your phone, just having that buzz. That two energies that are meant to be come together, and it's like.
And you're both just there in the room. It's just you two. There's no sort of distractions, or you've got that time then, haven't you? If you've got that day. It's really important as well, isn't it, as a couple to do that?
Totally.
There's so many people that don't make the time for that, or are unable to make the time for that because they've got kids or what have you, isn't there? But then you kind of lose that, that's the whole structure of the family, isn't it? The parents.
So when you do your thing, there's 5 and 5. Where do you fit in with you? Are you one of the 5?
No, I'm the host.
But I was just thinking, but you're single still. So
well, you know what? This is one of the things that I've been. I've not come across a problem with that yet. But I'm very much, I don't know whether to, I think I will be the host, so I'm not technically dating, and I won't I know I'm single, and if I do meet somebody on there, I think I'd be very much kind of like, right, okay, just message me after type thing, and just mingle with everyone else and keep me sort of separate, because I don't want it to, I don't know. I just want to kind of.
I don't know with that. I think you should just be one of them. You're hosting something, and the reason why you've done it is because you're in their predicament. And when this works, and you get your date from it, and it goes on, then you won't be part of it then because you have a date. So until then, why miss out on the opportunity that you're creating?
Yeah. I could create it for myself. Well, this is the whole thing as well, isn't it? Like basically, what's happened?
Why you're doing it?
It is. But you know what? I'm a bit worried now because it's almost like there's so many men that I'm like, oh, everyone's got kind of really good things about him, and there's
I'm interested. So what are you searching for? What is the man that because you're single? What's the man you're searching for? Who is he? If you had to describe him.
Well, so he
tough
would.
One, that, innit?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I think I've been thinking about this recently because you should have like a picture of your ideal man.
You need to know what it is you're looking
exactly.
How is the universe ever going to bring it to you?
Exactly. Yeah. How is it? Yeah, and that's probably what my problem is because I'm like, but I think for me, I've definitely realized recently that ambition is a massive thing. Like the guys that I've dated recently are people that I've just like completely been like absolutely bowled over with. I've noticed they're really kind of like engaged in the room, like quietly confident. Somebody who's kind of confident but not arrogant.
Yeah.
But then also, I'm like ambition and just like I really love it when people are just kind of like positive about stuff. Kind of, I think I'm going to do this. Yeah, great. You go for it. Like having that support there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that I don't need the support, but
no, I do.
It means a lot.
I'm very confident. I totally need the support. 100%.
Yeah.
Support. Who am I? What's the point?
Yeah. And it's just nice, isn't it? It's nice to bounce off each other. Like I love it when somebody's like, "How about you do this and how about you do that?" Like So,
someone giving you ideas. It's funny because Dylan, my son, he was funny because he never dated at all. He had women, but he never ever dated. And then one day he said, I remember he's seen a lovely girl now, and he said, it's just nice someone being bothered about you other than you, Dad, and my mum, and wanting to do things for me. And I was like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you. You should do because it is nice. Your mates will never treat you. Your mates don't care about you eating the right food and making sure that you've had enough sleep and all that,
Yeah, and that's what's so lovely about it, isn't it? Like you're learning about each other, and it's like it's that care for thing, isn't it?
I'm thinking like, so the first one you're doing, is it 5 and 5? So there's 10 people going.
Mm-hmm.
So where's it? How many you plan? Where's the vision? I'm seeing, because I'm entrepreneurial, I'm seeing the vision of it because I think it's a cracking idea.
Yeah.
It's got so much growth, and it's just like, it's like making dating less.
Yeah.
It's simplifying it. Really a lot. Do you know what I mean? If you're single, like when you go to the pub and you're single, you've no idea who's not single.
Yeah.
You might think, well, she's pretty hot over there, married.
Yeah.
She's pretty hot over there, gay. You don't know these things until you wait in the spot. Right, I'm going to go up to them, talk to them, making a big thing. I'm going to spend ages. Right, I build myself up, go and do it. Yeah, and they just palm you. All right. 5 minutes I've been planning to do this.
You know
great
what?
place to go knowing people are single, and you don't have to feel bad that you're saying you're single. I'm actually looking for someone. It's normal and nice and great.
Yeah. It's a thing, and like it's funny you say that as well about the because I think that is so hard for a guy, and I think now people don't really do that the same. They don't really approach you. Like obviously we've had COVID, haven't we? So that's been very difficult anyway. But generally speaking, you don't really get that many guys that just kind of approach you like that now. And I think it's just not really. No,
I've got a quick, because obviously like in your 20s you do, because that's what lads do. They're absolutely, they're focused on one thing and one thing only. I think that's the 20s. And then beautiful women this is what I think, like beautiful women who've always been nice looking and they've had that. They hit the 30s and it stops happening. What does that do to self-confidence? You know, because that's how you used to get it. Whereas a man, we hunt and we go out and we try. Whereas women, sometimes it comes to you, and maybe when you were 20, it was like every time you went out, you were sick of it. Oh, I'm sick of this. And then got a bit less at 25. And you know, and each one, it probably gets less, you know. I don't know, it doesn't happen to me, but.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's Kendal for you, though. There's probably not many single people in Kendal, is there?
I don't know. I don't even like. So because I'm older, the Kendal I know now is not a Kendal I want. You know, I go to pubs where there's people my age and older. Thursday night is my best night of the week. I absolutely love Thursday night. So I'm the youngest by, I think Chewy's 53. Yeah, I'm the youngest by about 10 years or 8 years. And Macca's 64 and we go somewhere. But I love that crowd because they make me feel like that's how I feel at my best. You know, we enjoy ourselves and there's no women. When I got New Union tonight, there'd be no women. So if I was single, I'd be a bit lost.
You'd probably end up going somewhere else just so that you can meet people, because that is literally what you do. Like me and my friend Kip's, I've got such a great group of girlfriends here. We always laugh because we're always like, that's probably why we're not meeting anybody, because we're just having such a good time by ourselves.
That's what girls do a bit, yeah.
That we're kind of like not, you know, we're just in our little zone. But yeah, we went to watch football the other day to the pub, mainly because we knew that there'd be a load of guys there as well. Yeah. We're like, we're going to plonk ourselves in this situation. But yeah, and then we went climbing the other day for the first time as well, because you kind of think, you know,
say that one.
Well, also, I want to these are the places that I want to kind of start putting my business cards in and get, like, climbing would be a great kind of adventure day, because it's going to be, it's not just walks, it'll be kind of, I want to do like archery and like there's like archery tag where you're in teams and you like fire bow and arrows at each other. Right. You do team stuff, and then there's Flight Club. If you've ever been to Flight Club in Manchester.
No, what's Flight Club?
So it's like darts. You play darts, but they have, it's like electronic, how they kind of do the scoring, but they do games and stuff on there as well that you've got to aim for such and such or whatever. So I thought that'd be a really good adventure.
Perfect.
Yeah, stuff like that, because I just think it's just good fun. I want to do it. I want to do it with the people that are single. So
I think it's like it's funny how like all new ideas. I've not heard this before, but it's such a cracking way at filling a void that's been created by, because everyone I see, I'm off online dating. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it. I'm turning them all off.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it. I hear that a lot.
Yeah. But you feel like it's almost as if that's the only way to date nowadays, but especially during COVID, because you've all got to sit on your same tables, haven't you? You're not allowed to mingle. So it's just a nightmare. So I think that's why people are just kind of, you hate it, but at the same time you're like, well, what else?
But I don't want to. What's your other option?
What's your other option? Yeah. How else do you meet
every
people?
Night. You can't go look at. You can't go to the pub all the time. And the other thing, what I say in the pub is, in the pub, all the 20s are there, so you've got the whole population there. As you move up in the age bracket, not everyone's there. So the kind of person you want, if you're 36, do you want someone who regularly goes to the pub a lot? Because that's where you meet.
Well, that's it. Oh yeah, these are the things you've got to think about, isn't it?
I was shooting a video yesterday, so for my YouTube, and the title was "How to Start a Conversation with Someone You Don't Know." So I actually went out, and I started filming. I went up to people with my film. I went, "I'm doing a film today, and how to start conversations with people you don't know. Got some advice."
Love
and it
that.
was brilliant. Apart from one young girl, I walked around. You know Moores Meadow, so I walked around Moores Meadow. I walked around it, and everyone who was at a bench, I stopped and chatted. Yeah. First two were on the phones and they weren't happy. Met this guy who looked like he wouldn't want to chat, and he was superb. Loved him.
Yeah.
Had a few more good chats. What does she go? Hiya, and she was outraged that I'd gone in her space, and she straight away went, "I don't need you coming up to me at lunchtime talking to me." And I was like, oh, okay. And she started walking off, and I was like, right, I'll go. But that could have been the same if I was looking for a date, because, you know, it's that rejection. And
and it's really brave to do that, actually. Like, it's really brave to put yourself out there, isn't it? And just be like, hey, do you want to talk to me?
Yeah, I talk to, it is one of my things that I do, and I'm not looking to date people because I'm very happy. But I talk to people every day that I don't know, and it's about that not many people do that anymore. You know, like, it's an art that's we're losing that vital thing that you know, how do you ever meet anyone new if you're not receptive for new people coming in? But whenever I do it, people actually want to talk to you, but they're scared to start it. It's mad.
Did you have a video on when you were talking to people, or?
No, I had my filming. So you have your little. So I've got it here. So I have a little GoPro that I do my filming on. So as I walk up to people, I'll walk up and it's like that in my hand, like that, and it is. Some people, you know, it is one of them things that can be intimidating. But I also want people in my film, and you meet some. I don't know. It's like standing out, being different. Like I actually, I'm not. I don't mean to say if I like. I'm really. If I was in the thing of in a day, I've got no problem. If I really thought I really like them, that's what I would do about it, is think, who do I really like? I just want to ask them, because I know I like them, and often then you know them or you've seen. I wouldn't have that as a problem, but when I do my YouTube channel and come up with things for that, that is one of my problems. So I'm, you know, and all we're trying to do is eradicate a problem that we've got, and that's what you said about being motivated to change. So you've got a problem, you've come up with a solution, and it's out of the box thinking, and also you've come up with a motivated business idea that will be very good, because eventually you don't have to be at them. You just set them up.
Well, this is it. Yeah. So I've met people. I'm kind of like sort of trying to meet people in other cities as well. And I've met this guy who I actually went on a couple of dates with, but it just didn't turn out. Yeah.
And it just didn't work.
It didn't work out, no. But we're friends now, so that's really nice. And I find what really attracted me to him in the first place was, like, again, it's like he's ambitious. He's really he's a photographer, so he has his own business.
Perfect.
But also he's got loads of properties in Leeds, so he manages all these properties and puts them all on like Airbnb. But he's just dead casual about it, you know, like it's just kind of dead easy and just sort of easy breezy. He's just and I love that. So, but because he's so ambitious and very business minded, I kind of had a chat with him afterwards. I was like, right, okay. You know, I'm thinking in the future, I'd like to expand this. Like, would you take people out in Leeds or whatever? And he was like, yeah, great. So like now I've made a friend, you know, like from that day, I've made a friend. Whereas I think like an old version of me might have just been like, oh no, like that's it, that's done then. And then not kept in touch.
Awesome.
Do you know? Whereas now I'm just like, no, that's an opportunity there, isn't it? Because all right, he's not my boyfriend, but that's fine, because now we could like potentially go into business together.
Well, and all right. You can only like I always have this thing, like in my divorce, I never refer to Sarah as my ex-wife, because I love Sarah like she's a family member, but I could only be like that if she was like she is. Not every divorce can happen like that, because two people go against each other, but we were great people who had some great kids, so we're all right. And some people, depending on what they like, and every ex is horrible. And maybe if every ex is horrible, it often says something to them about them, I always think. Like, but in your 20s, you're picking on looks, so you could say that. But as we're getting older, we're more bothered about enjoying our life at the weekend. It's not like we're going out every Saturday night now and every Friday night. And now, I don't want to go out Saturday night because we've got that walk on Sunday and we're going to enjoy that and have a couple of beers and a night. You know, that's where I am now. Just saying it, I'm much more there than. And you can relax and have a good time doing that. And I like that. I like that too. I think like when I have settled down or I have met that guy, I probably won't go out as much as I do now, because it is kind of an opportunity to meet new people, isn't it? I'll turn into like the boring one that's just sort of like, right, I'm not doing anything now. Well, that's not boring.
Sitting in the cuddling.
That's not boring, because what's boring, when you get to the stage, what's boring then is being rough the next day and not doing anything.
I know.
You've got like that, you know, as you get older, one of the things is it's not as easy to be happy because when you were younger, your friends were around you much more, and as you get older, that happens less because everyone gets busy doing other stuff and other events. You lose that connector that you had before. And you have to find that inner strength from you inside yourself, and that's what something I build up through my channel. What the podcast a bit with, it's for this will be on a group called Mindfulness and Positivity, and there's a lot of nice people. So yeah, you were going to be going live, but I let you off because I've got a live one at 2. So I didn't do live for you because I didn't want to knock your confidence. But you were nervous about this. But what is this? Just a conversation between two people.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Get nervous of dating as well, but it's just a conversation.
Yeah, very true. You know what I would say about you as well? I feel like you've got a really good way of making people feel comfortable on here because I've watched a couple of your interviews. Would you call them interviews? Yeah.
We're on the stage of finding out what, like, I just started it, but I do have some awesome people because I choose them. Everyone who comes on, I've said, will you come on? So it's not like that gives me a bit of a blessing because I can pick and choose who I want. And if you've listened to some of them are pretty cool, aren't they?
The mindful wizard I was watching yesterday.
Again. So I'm trying to get more with him. He gets up at 5 a.m, so we can do him. So we're on again next week, I think. I like him. I like yelling with him. Yeah, he's cool.
Is he over in America then?
Yeah, so he lives in New York. Right. So I think he lives in Brooklyn. So every day he's getting the Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, he's cool.
No, yeah. It was good listening to
about your dating thing as well. Like you should be like age brackets do count. Like probably if I'm 43, I don't want someone who's less than 35 and probably more than. I don't know actually, but so the bracket. Yeah. So there's like the 50s. There's loads of them that would love this.
Well, yeah.
Like mega love it.
Yeah, and that's why you have to have some kind of bracket. It can't just be a free for all, can it? There has to be some kind of because it would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? If you get a 60-year-old then
sugardaddy.com or something.
Yeah,
So that's the plan, that's the vision though. Because I think people are gonna listen to this and think, you know what, it's a great idea, but I'm not 35, I'm 49 or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're clearly doing it as a business model and you want to take it somewhere. And I just think it's a brilliant idea. Like mega good. I just think it's filling a void of an age bracket. Like, I don't think you're going to get many, maybe 25 plus, but I think below that, they're doing their thing in the pub.
Yeah.
Different way in the mind.
Yeah. And they're probably, like they're already mingling, aren't you, at that age? You don't, I think at my age now, like a lot of people are kind of already taken and they're in relationships. And so there's not as many. Whereas when you're younger, a lot of your friend pals are single, aren't they? So you kind of, you do end up just naturally meeting a lot more people.
Into the divorce age.
Yeah, I know.
Divorced. So you get the divorcees. But then that brings problem because when you're a first divorcee, you might have baggage in your mind or baggage what you bring, and it's sort of like you might not be ready. It's too early and all that. And every different thing has a different problem that you can't, sort of.
Yeah. It's crazy, and there's always, and that's the thing. Going on to the sort of dating strangers thing again as well, because they're a stranger. You don't know any of that. You don't know any of the past history. You don't have a bit of a background, which is a good thing in a way, but also, it's quite helpful to have that information, isn't it? Because you can easily misunderstand each other. I think, especially when you first meet people, they can. I think I had a bit of a problem with someone where I'd said something. I can't even remember.
By a text or in spoken word, because text is a lot of them are text, and there's so. It's a minefield for getting tech. Like I've had a text sent, and they've took it wrong. When I thought, I can't see how you've. I can't see how you have, but you have. As you wouldn't do it.
Whoops. And then how do you you can't sort of bring yourself back from that? But this is, I've got a funny story for you, and it involves my adventure day. So I was dating this guy. I went on a couple of dates with this guy. Oh, no, wait, sorry. I hadn't been on a date with this guy, but I was chatting to him.
On what? Which one? What were you chatting on? How did the spark happen?
So it was like, so I think I was chatting to him on Hinge, and then I spoke to him on the phone, and then on the phone. So this is how my adventure date started. I had arranged to meet like another guy that I'd been chatting to on like Hinge or whatever, which is a dating app. And I'd kind of said to him, oh, like, do you fancy me and my pal are going kayaking? And I said to my pal, oh, do you fancy? I said, what if we fact, because she was single as well. She hadn't really been meeting anybody. I said, how do you feel if I invite like this guy and see if he wants to bring a pal? And she was like, do you know what? Yeah, sod it. Like, she was a bit nervous about it, but she was like, nah, I'm gonna just dive in and let's do it. So we went kayaking with these two random guys, one of which I'd met online. But anyway, winding back a bit, this other guy that I was chatting to. So I was chatting to him on the phone. I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll invite him as well, and then we can invite more girls and bring it into a group thing. So I said to him on the phone, I was like, hey, so I'm going on this day. Like, so today I'm going kayaking with two other guys. It came across, honestly, he was like, so you're inviting me on a date with another guy? Like, it literally went down like a lead balloon, and I was like, oh my God. And then I had to message after that, and I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I understand how strange that must sound. I'm going on a date. Do you want to come on this date?
But that's the catalyst for where you came up with the idea of that. That's super.
That is literally where it. So then so the idea had kind of, I think when we're on a walk or something, I think I was just like, oh, like we need to be meeting people in a different way. Like, this would be good. So I think it was already in the mind. And then when that opportunity arose, like, because I was going kayaking with her, and I was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, you know, and then basically, so I arranged that, and it ended up, I think there was 4 girls and 2 guys, and the guys were just...
The guys are buzzing.
They were buzzing. And you know what? They were just a hoot as well, and they were complete strangers. They were the one that I'd been chatting to is... he was just really kind of up for anything, you know, really kind of like, sod it, let's do it. Great.
I like him.
Yeah. And I loved that. And that's the thing is, so I spoke to them about the idea, and like we did like, so I've got this little thing where I do like, I love facts about, you know, like just kind of researching some facts. So I do this little thing where I just got loads of facts about the canal. So when we went kayaking, we were like, right, so this is a fact about the canal, blah, blah, blah. So kind of tried to turn it into a group dating scenario, like a bit entertaining as well. And then we went to the pub afterwards, and everyone just had such a brilliant time that then it was like, right, we need to do this as a thing. Like, this should be a thing. Like, this is where we should be dating. So yeah.
Awesome. And you know what? I can give you this, so you'll need to know this.
Yeah.
You need to remember your story, because soon, like when you do your first one, you have to start doing your press releases, because that's your next part of your business model is when you go to do one, press release, Gazette for this one, because you're doing it in our area. Fire it across what you're doing and get some publicity as you go. So everyone drives publicity, because no one else is doing this. So it's new. So that's what the press want. So you press release it every time, or someone gets someone else involved in thinking and putting the message out. I think this one's going to roll for you. I think this one's going to roll. And then you're going to be on more. This is the first of many podcasts.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Oh my God, you would not believe, right? Because I know you know, with the whole university thing. Yeah. So recently, like I was like listening to a podcast, and it basically they said, right, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to start sort of like acting like an entrepreneur. So as if you already are one.
You tell yourself a story, and you are doing that. You tell yourself a story, and you've got to live and breathe it and be it. Yeah,
like you're already doing it. So like over these last few weeks, I was and this is like a funny thing to be telling you right now, but I've been thinking to myself, I would like to be on a podcast, or I'd like to be interviewed about it. Like
it happened.
So then I was like, you know, if I was like mooching around or something, I'd think, what would I say? How would I say it? Like, oh, like this is how I would sell the thing. Like, you know, like in my head, I was already having the interview. So when you'd messaged, I was literally like, oh my God, it's actually happened. So when you'd said one of many, that's my thoughts exactly.
But it will happen. And the thing is when you thought about what will I say on a podcast, you thought, I don't know what I'd say. We've been going for nearly 50 minutes now. I'm not going to be able to talk for that, but it just flows.
Yeah.
I used to think it. So I coach people now on how I can help with the mindset in their life and teach them how to build mindset. So before I started doing it, I was thinking, well, what am I going to say? I've been coaching people all my whole life, but just not calling it for money. Been giving it for free. And then I remember the first call I was doing, first 10 minutes, I was like what you think you're going to be nervous. And I actually was. And then I started flowing. And then I remembered why I'm doing this is because this is something I'm really good at.
Yeah.
You've found your little niche now. And I think you're going big with it. I think that because you could have 100 every weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You could do.
Yeah, and I'd just love like bringing people together and seeing
I'm just
people.
putting it for us now. I want you to do a massive one. I'd like to come and host it with you, like a massive one, because I'm really good at getting people to think out the box of being different with the people in there. Because then you can I'd love it because I think that love is like. It's like the most amazing free gift that you can get that can't be produced by anything other than an internal feeling that cannot be forced or made to happen. It doesn't just happen. It's it's like you don't like when a song comes on and you might love it and I don't, because that's what your love is different to mine, and it's sending out a different frequency. And I think you can get people into the mode of letting themselves be a bit more freer and let themselves go. We're here now to enjoy ourselves. This is when we're going to let ourselves go and be who we are, because everyone here needs to see who you are, because that's who you want to be when you're going to be with them. There's no point hiding from you and your special quality. And it's great. I love the sound of it. It's absolutely superb.
Oh, thank you so much.
I just think you've hit really. Yeah. What I think is you're going to help a lot of people out.
Oh, I hope so. And you know what? It's really nice to hear. Like, it really sort of, because sometimes it's hard to get that motivation, isn't it? Like, I'm sure you'll
welcome to being an entrepreneur, because you haven't got anyone else to say it's good. And then you've got all these ideas, and then you think, that's a great one. And oh no, it's not.
Or where'd you go? What?
This one 100% is.
Yeah. I feel like I've finally, like, for years, I've been saying to the girls, I'd love to do something for myself, but I just haven't been able to find what that is. And I think because of this last year and stuff, and I've been getting out and about a lot more, it's kind of combining the sort of like loving the outdoors and having a brilliant time outdoors with introducing people to each other. And it's just like, and I feel so strongly about it that it like you say, with you saying it's a really good idea. It's really nice to hear that. And it's nice. It's really nice to kind of hear that from other people that haven't heard about it before as well. Because you're just like, oh, this is the reason why I'm doing it. It goes back to that.
End of your first one, you get some testimonials of the people there. So while you're checking them out, you're saying, this is, I want you to enjoy all this, and at the end of it, they'll feel good. Get them on video. Say, will you just do me a 30-second? Tell me how the day's gone and what you thought about it. Then
good idea.
First bit of marketing, and then the best people to market what you've got is the people who've enjoyed it being on it. Like at the salon that I have, the best person to market, the stylist, is the one who you've been cutting their hair for 20 years, because 20 years and I'll say this to them and they'll be like, I never thought of that. Well, they obviously like you, and they obviously think you're very good at it, because we've been with you for 20 years now, and you're not using the best asset you've got to tell people to come here, because they're really happy, and that's the same with yours.
Yeah. I'll take that. I was thinking of doing. I mean, the Wezzy Gezzy idea is a really good idea. I think I'll.
Everywhere you go's got a paper, but then that's Wezzy Gezzy, right? But now you've got it. Wezzy Gezzy's your local one. And then what else can you get? Can you get national? You can only send them an email, and I can give you a generic press release email that I've got that you have things too. You've got to start that cloud. Like, you're starting now, and I can tell you it's gonna work, because you're one of the people that you need this. You know what I mean? You've hit this block of how that current market is, and it's like something new's needed, and this is one of it. You know, soon people will be ripping you off. You know that, don't you? But you'll be the one who's known for it. But that's great to be ripped off because you came up with a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, you're filling a void, but you're not just filling a void because, do you know what? If I come and don't meet anyone, so what? I had a great day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's how it's kind of sold as well. Like you're always going to get something from it because you create, you know, like what can happen? You just have a good day. It's just, you can, there's always going to be something that you come away with, isn't there?
And you're just going to market all the walking groups or on Facebook and everyone. There's absolutely, you know, once you hit probably 30, people start walking more and doing outside stuff and realizing there's something else other than just the pub and being rough the next day.
Yeah.
Not that I don't ever do it. I'd be lying. I do like the pub, but I just don't try and ruin my next day.
Yeah.
So you've got your first date. Have you got any other dates before we go? Because we're coming to the end now. Have you got any other dates lined up for?
Lined up?
Yeah. No, I mean, you've got your first date at the Rydal one. Have you got a few sequenced after it?
Yeah. So there's one. So at the moment, there's 3. There's the Rydal one. Then there's it's called Lud's Church and the Roaches. You might not know it because it's kind of down our area, but it's basically like it's
being near Oldham Middleton way. Roaches the.
It's like Leek kind of way. It's like it's a walk over the top of it's like on a ridge type thing.
All right. Okay.
But it's really cool because it's like a crack in the earth and it's just covered in moss. So it's just like green, it's cool, it's eerie. It's just like a really cool, if you've never been before, it's like one of those where you're like, wow, this is really cool. So there's that. And then there's a bike ride to Media City. And then a little beer.
Every one of them is out there. I love it. I think you're all brilliant. I think that people are going to love it. So we'll put this in the group and hopefully, so the website's
myadventuredate.co.uk. That's the one.
Oh, amazing. Thanks so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the first of many. In a year from now, I'll be dying to see your story again. I'll get you back on after you've done it and you can tell me about the successes. And obviously things won't always go to plan because that's life.
Yeah.
But every time you just eradicate that with something else and move it forward and, you know, superb. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on.
So I'll get this together and I'll send you the link for it later. And thanks so much, Ashley. Thanks a lot.
Perfect. Thank you.
Nice
Have a good day.
All righty. See you later.
Bye.